Hey, this is Ed with GameSpot, and I'm here with Karrie from tinyBuild. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm good. And you're here to show us Hello Neighbour. Now, this is a little bit, it's quite anticipated with our audience, so tell us what it's about and run us through it, I guess.
Sure, yeah. Hello Neighbor is, it's a stealth horror game. It's about a kid who moves in across the street to see his neighbor doing something really shady in his house. He's kind of got his basement boarded up, and you hear screams coming out of it. So it is your duty as a good Samaritan neighbor and a very nosy kid to break into his house over and over again until you figure out what's inside.
Sounds like my childhood. Let's run through it. So
okay.
Tell us what we're doing here.
Great. So actually, we start off in our own house. It's very nondescript, and there isn't really much to do here. But as we open the door, you're going to see the neighbor's house. Now, when we say, you're going to try to get through your neighbor's house, this is what we're talking about. This is his house.
Yeah.
Even within this house, you see there's multiple levels. There are kind of a lot of mini games that you're going to find in the house as well. And so if the neighbor doesn't find me, I'm just going to try to, oh, there he is. He just saw me. You can probably hear that audio of him. When he hears and sees you, the audio changes and it turns into kind of a scary game despite its Pixar cartoon appearance. So I'm just waiting for the neighbor to get off my trail now. But you can kind of see, so this is the front door I'm looking at right here. And that brown door right behind it is actually his basement. So the basement is actually right in the front of his house, but obviously you're not going to get there right away. So the neighbor has actually gone around the back. So I'm going to just bust in through the front door here. Now we're looking kind of at his house. So we've got his kitchen here. All these items you see here are interactable. I can pick up items like this chair that he's using to block the door, and now the back door is open for me. I can hit light switches. I can pick up this glue, which can help. I can throw it on the ground. Oops, yeah, things like that. So this house is very much a sandbox environment that you can kind of do things around the house, kind of that just limited by your own imagination. Oh goodness, there's a security camera.
So there are different ways to take out different sort of facets of the house.
Yes. I'm gonna try to run because we'll see. Basically the house is pretty much, you want to get through the house however you want to. And there's multiple ways to solve puzzles. And so the way this game has been developed, the developers, Dynamic Pixels, they're based in Russia. We've been releasing with them alphas and betas as we go. So basically, if you pre-ordered the game with us, you got to watch the development and help inform the development as we go. So, oh goodness, I think I see him. So you can probably hear the audio change. Like when he approaches, you can hear his footsteps and his reactions when he notices you in the house.
It's getting pretty intense right now.
Yeah, you see how my screen just shook?
Yeah.
So when he runs by, you start to shake with fear when the neighbor comes by. So I'm in a safe zone right now. He cannot find me, but you actually see that security camera in the corner. So the way the AI works is that the AI learns to play against you. So when you move things around in the house, he'll notice that somebody's in the house. If he finds you in a particular hallway, for example, he's going to start to set up security cameras. So right now, he probably saw me run by, but he didn't see where I went. So I'm going to hopefully not run into him because this is a little scary. So now we're on the second floor, and here's an example of one of the puzzles that you're going to get. This is a kind of a grated door. We know we want to get through there. There is a switch. There's a switch right there that we can actually try to throw some items at. So if we find some items that fit through that grate, let's try to get, oops, that's my throw button. We're going to try to find, let's get some books. Some items are too big to fit through the fence to throw. So for example,
you can try basically anything you can
try
get your hands on.
Yeah, right. So that's going to be too big. So what I can do is try to throw it at that lever. That is not.
Oh, so close.
And I need more items. Maybe this alarm clock will do. Yeah, so I mean, you can pick up and throw any item. Yeah.
Well done.
Okay, that was really lucky. Another way people get through it is that there was kind of an opening here, so you can stack boxes to jump into it. You can actually also jump, there's an opening here. So we give people the options of kind of how to get through the game as well and its discovery. So like I said, the game's not out yet. It comes out in December 8th. However, there's already hours and hours of gameplay. Everyone's invested into it just because, they can literally just do tons of things in this house.
So does the house change, or is everyone going to get the same house to explore?
Everyone's going to get the same house, and the items all start in the same place. Now, one thing you'll notice is that when we went through all the different alphas, each alpha had a different house.
Oh.
And we get a lot of questions about, please put this house back in. Are they going to be in the final game? And to that we say, I don't know. You're going to have to wait till December.
It's all a surprise.
It's all a surprise. It's a mystery, like much of this game is. We know what we're doing. We have a plan for it. We just want to make you guys sweat a little bit. So I didn't try these doors, but these are actually all locked. And then you see here's like, eventually we want to find a yellow key. In the other room, there was a blue key we needed to find. So that's kind of your cues of how to progress through the house.
So if you get caught, what happens?
All he does is he throws you out into the street. You retain your items, you retain your progress through the house, and it's just kind of a scary thing.
Right.
This game doesn't actually have any jump scares, though we get a lot of screaming when people play it because it's just scary when the neighbor catches you. He's running at you. You hear the sounds and the music, and so that was kind of the basis and the idea of this game was that it's a horror game, but it sure doesn't look like one. Right? It looks like a Pixar movie.
This guy has very colorful design tastes and also very strange sort of image placement right there.
Incredibly strange. So what we're gonna do here, and look, there's another camera right here. So right now I started this game. Oh gosh, I think he's up here. We started this game kind of already having played through it, so that's why these cameras are already there. Like I said, the AI adapts to how you play. So if you're always found in the hallway, or if you're always going through this back door, which is why this camera is here, he's gonna start to like trap it so he can find you when you activate it. So, oh goodness, I think he's downstairs. I think he just threw that at me. So I think this glue, so he just threw some glue at me, and I'm gonna try to run through it, but this is probably not gonna work very well.
It'll slow you down.
Yeah, because I gotta jump through that. So let me
he uses the same items that you can use.
Yeah, well he has glue, he has bear traps, and he has security cameras in this beta of the game. Again, this is beta 3. Look, he's right there. He's not very happy with me. Yeah, and then once he actually puts down the items, you can interact with them. For example, I can like spring his bear trap and pick it up. So there's a bear trap right there. What I want to do is I could always jump over it, or I can just, I can spring it, and then he's gonna hear that, so I'm gonna back away a little bit. But you'll find that a lot of people try to brute force this game, and as you do that, you actually just get worse and worse at the game because he sets up more and more traps for you. And so you have to find, different entrances, or at some point you got to take a break from trying to just break into his house and start to dismantle the traps he's laid out for you. One of my favorite traps is that he'll actually leave a door ajar and then put a pail on top of it. So when you open the door,
classic
it falls.
Home Alone move.
It's so wonderful. It's very, very much Home Alone inspired and things like that. So I'm just going to pick up his trap. I think there's going to be cameras everywhere now. Oh, shoot. And your safe zone is across the street at your house, because unlike you, he has manners. He will not actually.
He won't cross the street.
He won't cross the street. Yeah. But what I like to do is, people like to throw things at him.
So can you incapacitate him?
You can't. Sometimes you can get him caught in a bear trap, but he cannot be permanently incapacitated. So, in one of the previous alphas, there were sleeping pills you could find to put into his milk. So he has a routine. He kind of goes around the house. He does his stretches and things like that.
Yeah.
So there are ways to temporarily disable him, but you can't really ever kind of make him go away completely. Now, if I hopefully make it through to one of the mini games, I'm going to try to do this a little bit more safely. You actually start to get special abilities as we complete certain portions of the game, and I will hopefully get there. But for the first, there's a camera right there. I think I'm gonna try to go through the back window. For the first ability that you get actually in the game, this is kind of a spoiler if you haven't played any of the alphas, is that when you crouch, you turn invisible. And that's the first ability. You have to pass the fear supermarket level, which I'm gonna try to get to if I can. So now that you saw that hallway was booby-trapped with that camera, I can either try to get that camera out, or I can just break it a different way.
So he's going to have heard that.
Oh, he hears that. And I'm going to hide here.
And so there's no sort of indication that he's around aside from the screen shake and the ominous music, right?
Yes, yeah. And well, you will hear the sound effects too. So you'll hear kind of his footsteps walking around. Sometimes you'll hear those footsteps on grass. Sometimes you'll hear like water running, so you know he's in the bathroom. I think he's close. You're getting my audio right now. So so there are ways to kind of know where he is.
But it's all environmental.
It's all yes, everything's environmental, and there's kind of a story that goes along with it, but it's very short cut scenes, and everything is kind of told environmentally. I'm running. Oh gosh, okay. So here's the other shortcut through. If I can do this. Okay, I'm gonna jump here and jump here.
Wow, it's very crafty.
Yes. Okay, now we're gonna try to do this. Oh gosh, it totally sees me. I'm trying to make sure I have all my buttons right. Okay.
So you're trying to get to that ledge.
Yeah, so he's chasing me right now. So that jump, you can make that jump if you're better at platforming than I am. But, he's upstairs now, you see that. Another way to do it is to actually find an umbrella and then you can float across.
Oh,
kind of Mary Poppins style, which I will do once he, jumps off of his second story there. He's really mad at me. Okay. So we can watch where he's going, right? So he's going to the right. So now I know these are the type of cues you can kind of look for. There are also other ways to distract him. For example, if I can make it in there. He has I'm so scared right now. There's a TV here and there's a remote. So if I grab the remote and I go somewhere else in the house and I switch on the remote, he'll hear a noise and try to come find it. Oh.
This is a tough game.
This is tough. Talking and playing too is fantastic. So Easter eggs, right? So you're trying to figure out, again, how to progress through the house. So if you notice, if you look at these paintings, they're all kind of wonky, but this one in particular,
It's super
throw
wonky.
something at it, that opens.
Oh.
Yeah, and that also gives me access to other parts of the house. So let's just go there. I can't seem to make that jump today. And then it is going to open up other rooms for you. This looks like a pretty standard room, but now we have kind of a lot more access into the house. So there's an outdoor balcony, and as you go higher up in the house, you will, when you need to escape, right, you can actually jump off. In this version, you actually, I guess it's not officially fall damage, but you will, oh look, there's an umbrella right there. Let's just go in there. But you do have to restart if you fall too far.
Right.
So we're gonna jump in. Oh, cool. Actually, this is kind of a room I wanted to go into. So again, we can shortcut a lot of this, right? And so instead of shortcutting or doing what I was trying to do very poorly, we're just gonna get up into this room, which you lead into if you actually make that jump. We're going to hit that switch there, which raises this platform. I go into this room, and here's the start of the mini game. So this is what I should have just done this whole time. And so we have a set of levels in the most recent beta. They're called the fear levels. And right now, you'll notice something very interesting. You probably wouldn't notice this until you've played the game a while, but I'm a lot smaller than I used to be. I'm a lot shorter. These shelves are a lot higher, and so I'm kind of, maybe I'm a kid, maybe I'm younger than I used to be. Not quite sure. So we're pushing this through a very scary looking supermarket. If you hear a clattering noise, let me know. That's the mannequins running at me. And that's a sound cue I don't have right now. But what you want to do is you see these mannequins, and so I want to look at what they have in the cart, and I'm trying to get those same items into my cart. So I'm going to need this pink. This one's not attacking me. That's my new skill. So once I pass this level, I actually get this skill in the main game, and what that is a crouch to go invisible. So that's going to be really handy as we go through the house, as we get higher and higher and fewer escape paths to actually run across.
Is that only
the
when you
street.
stay still?
Yes. Or I guess I'm just crouching right now. And this is something in another example of feedback we really take from the players was originally, if you just stand still for a second, you will turn invisible, but then people would get scared by the mannequins, they start moving the mouse, and it actually wouldn't, it would break the invisibility. So once I pass this level, I've gained the ability to actually have this crouch And so, for example, I saw that. I saw a big pink tub as well. I'm not sure if there's a green button. Let's grab that. So you're filling your shopping cart with 5 items that you need. Oops. How about I actually put it in the shopping cart? And then these mannequins will actually try to take things from your shopping cart as well. But I'm just going to push through. I may not actually get all the right items, but I'm going to show you what this looks like. And so there's a series of these levels within the house. So again, the house is way bigger than you think. And each one will give you a special ability. And this one gives you that invisibility. And there's another one that gives you a double jump, actually. Can you imagine how useful that is in the house? And so that's how the game kind of evolves over time as you play through. And now the most recent version we have out is Beta 3. That's about only 40% of the content that's going to be in the full game. So if you play it, you're not necessarily ruining it for yourself. You're just getting a head start in the game that comes out in, I think, about a month and a half now. So I only have 1 item in the cart. This is not going to end up working. But we get through.
If you were to succeed, you would.
You see, so I have 1 correct item, and then it sends me back, and I have to play through the level again. But that's an example of kind of the mini games we have going on.
And so, like, the mini games are the only way to get the sort of supernatural powers,
yes,
so to speak.
And then progress through. I think, for this one, obviously, you don't really need the crouch ability. It's just really nice. But double jump is something that you probably need as you go on. Makes the game a lot easier too. And again, as you saw, I totally failed at getting through the proper method of actually getting to this level. But you can invent different ways based off of what you observe in the house.
Yeah. So many different options to tackle one problem, and that ultimate goal is to get up to the top level and see what the hell he's doing.
Get into the basement, which is actually
right.
at that it's right in front of the door, and so it's teasing you the whole time to see what's down there. And I will say that with one of our last updates, we did reveal we have bosses. We have boss battles, which function in the same way the game does. It's a platforming battle. And also multiple basements. We've admitted that much already.
This guy has not got some good stuff going on.
No, he doesn't. This is in his house. Like, what is this exactly?
Yeah.
Like, why is this in your house?
Cool. So remind us again when Hello Neighbour is coming out and to where?
Yes, Hello Neighbor is coming out December 8th, so very soon for PC and Xbox One. And you can go to helloneighborgame.com to find out all about it.
Cool. Thank you so much, Karrie.
Thank you so much.